all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. We're bang in the middle of the week and only a few days away from the presentation of Budget 2020. For everything you need to know ahead of Saturday's event, do check the website bloombergquint.com. Now, on to the top news today. In the latest on the coronavirus, Germany has said that it has identified a cluster of local patients infected by a woman from Shanghai who had been visiting Europe. These are being monitored closely and appear to be one of the first clusters of transmission outside of China. It's a worrying sign for public health authorities who have taken aggressive steps to contain what, for now, has been mostly a Chinese outbreak. The US and UK yesterday said that residents should avoid all non-essential travel to China, and United Airlines, which is the biggest US carrier to China, said it would cut flight services after a drop in demand. According to the latest official figures, more than 4,500 people have been infected in China and at least 100 people have died. Let's take a look at some of the other important news now. Airtel Africa's operating profit beat estimates in the quarter ended December. Revenue rose, operating leverage improved, and costs fell. The operating profit therefore rose 24% year-on-year to just under $400 million. The margin expanded more than 400 basis points to 45.2%. In news in the insolvency space, the Bombay High Court has rejected Kotak Investment Advisors' petition challenging the Insolvency Court's approval for resolution plan for RICO India, saying the alternative assets manager should approach the appellate tribunal. And speaking of bad loans, social unrest and protests in Assam have led to an increase in delinquencies for banks and microfinance lenders across the state, according to ICRA. The rating agency said that the share of the portfolio, which is overdue between 0 and 30 days, rose sharply to around 10% in the quarter ended December 2019 from 1.5% in September. Loans which are 30 days past due rose to 2% from 1% over the same period. U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer will be in India in the second week of February to finalize a trade deal ahead of President Donald Trump's expected visit, according to a Bloomberg report. India is keen to sign an agreement during Trump's visit, and Trade Minister Piyush Goyal has invited Lighthizer to discuss the details of a possible pact that has been stalled since before Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the U.S. in September. India expects to sign deals to raise its defense and energy purchases from the US during the president's visit. US consumer confidence increased by more than expected to a 5-month high in January on brighter views of labor market conditions, adding to signs that Americans are poised to keep supporting a record-long expansion. The Conference Board's index climbed to 131.6 from an upwardly revised December reading of 128.2, according to data released yesterday. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump announced that he had a detailed plan for Middle East peace that provides a win-win situation or solution to make Israel and the region safer, but skirted complaints that Palestinians have already rejected the proposal and didn't take part in drafting the plan. In international markets, the positive indicators on the economy pushed investors in US equity markets into risk-on mode. This pushed the three averages sharply higher. The S&P 500 rose over 1% on the back of a tech rally, and the Nasdaq climbed 1.4%. The Dow ended higher by 0.7%. And it's going to be another thinly traded day in Asian markets with several shut, but the three early risers which are trading have all begun positively. And with that, it's over to Darshan Mehta, who is going to tell you all about the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Darshan. How are we looking today?
Hi, Alex. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. There seems to be a little recovery as far as the global markets is concerned. The Asian markets have opened slightly higher, and the SGX Nifty is trading with a positive bias. But Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv are the two Nifty results that will come out today. Among the other results, there is Tata Power, IDFC First Bank, NIIT Technologies, Nilkamal, Orient Cement, Pidilite Industries, Escorts, Jubilant Foodworks, Crompton Greaves Consumer, Dixon Tech, KPIT Technologies and Ramco Cements. Tata Coffee, strong set of numbers, revenues up 8%, EBITDA up 54% and net profit doubled. Plantation segment revenue was up 12%, value-added segment revenue was up 7%, lower raw material cost and other expenses aided the margin, and there was an exceptional gain of 6 crores due to sale of non-core assets which aided the profit. Mahindra & Mahindra Financial Services, it was mixed set of numbers. NII up 10%, profit up 18%, AUM up 16%, value of assets finance was down 2%. There was a slight rise in the NPA mainly on account of the CV, and management highlighted asset quality and cost control as the key near-term priorities. Wonderla Holidays, in which revenues were down 8%, EBITDA down 16%, which means margins came in at 36% versus 39%, and which was impacted by Ind AS and lesser ticket revenues. The net profit was up 45% as there was an exceptional gain of 15 crores. The board has approved to set up an amusement park in Odisha now. JK Lakshmi Cement revenues up 7%, EBITDA up 55% and profit was up 3 times. The margins improved due to lower power and transportation cost. Tube Investment, weak set of numbers, revenues down 25%, EBITDA down 10%. Profit was up almost 32%, but that was on account of reversal of provisioning of loans. Operationally, the EBITDA margins came in at 12% versus 10% due to lower raw material cost. But on the revenue front, cycles and engineering segment actually saw a big decline on the top line. Spandana Spurti, NII up 43%, profit up 39%, AUM up 40%, loan disbursement up 63%. Come in strong set of numbers, revenues down 4%, EBITDA down 5%, profit was up 1%, but this comes in much better than what the street was anticipating. There was an exceptional loss of 16 crores due to a one-time expense of VRS. Domestic sales up 4%, exports down 16%, much better than what the street was anticipating. Tirumalai Chemicals, revenues down 25%, EBITDA down 45%, margins at 6% versus 8%. There was a net loss of 1.3 crores versus a net profit of 11 crores. Stocks to watch, Ircon will consider a share split on Feb 11. Gati, in which All Cargo Logistics acquired 91 lakh shares and now they have 20.8% stake in the company. HDFC Mutual Fund continues to acquire in La Opala. They bought in another 7 lakh shares. DSP Merrill Lynch acquired 11 lakh shares in Narayana Rudale. SBI Mutual Fund acquired 65 lakh shares. CDC Group was the seller. Watch out for some of these quick service companies like a Westlife and Jubilant Foodworks. Burger King IPO gets the SEBI nod. The offer comprises of fresh issue of equity shares worth 400 crores and offer for sale for 6 crore shares. In terms of brokerages, Macquarie has downgraded Reliance to an underperform with a target price of 1300. Edelweiss has upgraded Tata Motors to a buy from a hold and raised the target price to 245 from 140. Morgan Stanley has upgraded both Infosys and HCL Tech from the IT pack, and actually on the overall sector, they have upgraded the sector by a notch. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab and you'll be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. And as always, thank you all for listening in. That's all we have for you in this podcast, but do remember, like I said at the start, there's a lot more on the website bloombergquint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.